All right, then if we're good, then it looks like it is episode 7.
Damn.
Stuck on Stuff.
We recording?
We are recording. Snuk, what up, yo?
What's good, Stiz? Yo, check it out, right? Today we got the CEO and founder of GetMoneyMusic.com.
Okay.
Publicist, entrepreneur. He's had a hand in placing countless artists on major platforms. Also, this year, he created the New England Hip Hop Awards.
Word.
Ladies
yes,
and
I
gentlemen,
heard about those.
it's Derek Lemire.
Okay.
Am I saying that right?
Yes, you are.
Word up.
Most people get it wrong, so you're good.
All right. Yo, Derek, what is exactly is it that you do? Because a lot of people don't understand what you do, like as a publicist. And what do you do? How do you do it?
Definitely. I mean, my initial mission when I created GetMoneyMusic.com before I became a publicist was to create a New England platform, a national platform where we could help catapult New England artists.
Okay.
Because there wasn't really platforms like that out there. As I grew, I mean, I started as a show promoter, and I really saw there were so many artists that didn't have an outlet to be able to market their music correctly.
Okay.
When I was doing shows up in New Hampshire, where I'm from. So, I mean, basically, I interned for a publicist out in New York, learned a lot, and it's all been up from there.
When did you go out to New York?
I'd say about 6 years ago. I interned with Dwayne Oliver Taylor. Rest in peace to him, but he was a former publicist for Diddy, Kid Rock, Will Smith, Bella DeVoe.
Major.
So you just went out there for like a free internship to learn the ropes?
I went out there several times with him. He came up here. It was just like a person I interned with. I was a right-hand man. He taught me the logistics, how to deal with certain people within the industry, etc.
How'd you link up with that dude?
Just through a third party. My homie JRXL, who he used to be in the group MVP with Stagger Lee. That's on Rock Your Body, my check one too.
I remember Stagger Lee from BT Late Night. They used to play Stagger Lee.
Yeah, so kind of linked through them. So yeah.
Word, that's what's up. So what are you doing now? Like, what is your job now? You would say a publicist?
Definitely a publicist. I mean,
blogger.
For example, like one of the artists we help out right now is Zay Hilfiger, who did Juju on that beat.
Yeah.
We pretty much co-manage him. Shout out my business partner Sheik, who's in Los Angeles. He runs all our operations out there. I mean, really.
So when you say co-manage, like you guys, you manage people too, like actual management?
Yeah, we just started a company 2 months ago called Starbreakers Entertainment, so we could expand and start managing artists.
Dope.
So what does a publicist do for an artist?
In short, I mean, in the old days, it was more advising people to make the right moves, etc. But now it's a lot of marketing as well, since the marketing is a lot of digital. So it's really just breaking records, doing whatever it takes to get exposure for an artist, and more so best utilizing a budget.
Yeah. So I think, definitely a budget is, and obviously publicity.
Yes.
So,
right.
I mean, I would say it's getting the artist known. So, yeah, I would definitely say the blogs, like you said, digital. Blogs do have, well, actually, that's a question I want to ask. Like, do blogs have the same amount of power that they did 5 years ago? Because a lot of people are starting to say no.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's one of the ones we discussed at the seminars at the New England Hip Hop Awards. And really the answer is blogs still help you get good YouTube traction, etc., but they're not really going to break your record.
Yeah.
For example, if you're posted on a blog, it really depends what day it is. Like, I had a client from Boston that was on The Source like a month and a half ago, and it was good. They kept him on the front page all weekend, and he got good clicks off it. But many times you get stuck up there with Kendrick, Drake, and who are they going to click on?
Yeah, of course.
So you really have to hit from all angles. I personally specialize in digital marketing through social media. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc. I also utilize certain tastemakers within the industry that have at least 500,000 views, kind of the same methods that the labels use. Certain cosigns that I'll break off to get better traction, obviously radio platforms, all that.
Because I remember there was a time where if you got your shit posted to like Not Right,
it was a major thing.
It was like,
now it seems so easy to get on any site now.
Well, because I think a lot of it has come down now to if you want it bad enough, you can pay the money and
just
get
pay
on
and get
there.
on the site.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it depends what sites. Like, for example, there's still sites like Complex, Hip Hop DX, where they won't let their writers take commission.
Yeah.
So it really
meaning
depends.
like they matter more.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
better journalism. I mean, the company is the advertising revenue in blogs is a lot harder than it used to be. So if you're not on a major platform, then the writers aren't getting paid right away. So that's really a lot of the smaller outlets. They're telling their writers to take post money and stuff like that to even get paid because they're not getting paid by the outlets.
Wow, that's
how it's working.
And so you can see how that creates a fucking just a shit show.
Yep.
How do you even get the plug with all these major sites in the first place to be able to tell artists, yo, I can get you on this site?
Yeah, I always wondered that too.
Consistency. I mean, obviously, it's like when you're applying to any job, you give them references, you give them past articles. So if someone was trying to write for Get Money Music, like, I mean, I look for New England people that can provide good content. And really, I just people can send them like 2 stories. Even if you don't have an outlet, you can say, this is what I would write.
Okay.
2 examples like that. So how they can see your writing. The contact information for every outlet is pretty much on the website. So.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know about you, Snuk, but being an artist myself, I think I've probably sent. Now, I'm a pretty good writer. I know how to compose an email. I know how to be, you know what I mean? It's not just like, yo, check out my shit. You know what I mean? Like, this is the next hot shit. And I've sent quite a few emails to Not Right, Hip Hop DX, like
they don't all respond.
Oh, of course. I mean, God knows how many fucking contacts they're getting a day.
Right.
So like, how do you break through and start to like
stand out a little?
Yeah, and to know someone like an SK from Not Right or like,
I personally don't even know Not Right. I mean, that just shows you right there. I mean, I probably have 4 platinum artists I currently work, and still when I send those releases out,
what do you mean platinum
like
artists?
Big name artists, people that I work with, collaborate with, have worked in the past. And still, some outlets like Not Right, they've never answered an email from me.
Yeah.
Hip Hop DX is based in LA, so fortunately, I was able to build a relationship with one of their writers in person the first time I went out there.
That's
so
how you do it.
That's the way to do it if you can meet people in person.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know, like, out here in Boston, you have to look. Some of them have regional writers. Like, I know Dana Scott from out here in Boston.
Yeah,
was writing,
shout out Dana.
Shout out Dana.
He was writing for Hip Hop DX for a long time. That's really the way you look at it.
It's a plug situation. Like, I know Dana, so when Lunch Table came out, Dana was like, yo, this shit is crazy. I'm going to get it on DX for you. Got it on DX for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for sure.
Word. Yeah, shout out Dana.
And I mean, that's just how shit works. You know what I'm saying?
But I have a record coming out, and I'm trying to, I'm at the stage right now. It's coming out for Halloween, and I'm trying to figure out who to give my money to try to get it into some good places,
Definitely.
right?
Or if it's even worth spending money in the first place, or trying to do it organically.
Try to do it on my own.
There's a pretty new platform out there called SubmitHub.com.
Yeah, I heard about this.
And
Clancy was telling us
I keep hearing about this. Clancy was talking about it.
Break
it down what it is, because I don't know.
We're one of the outlets. We're working in multiple formats. So actually, I can get you guys on there for to review music for radio stuff too. But for Get Money Music, basically artists pay like $1 a credit to be able to submit songs to all these outlets. But it's pretty good because the person has to leave you feedback.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's what he said, right?
They have to leave you at least 10 words of feedback. So it's good. Like I have DJ Padrino check a lot of ours for Get Money Music. So a lot of them have other people check them. But I mean, some of them it's the main people. Like everywhere from Ear Milk is on there. DJ Booth is on there now.
Now, does anything happen if in a positive way?
Shout out Z from DJ Booth.
If them dudes, of what you was just saying, how they have to leave a review and shit, if they're getting mad positive shit, does that help boost it in any way?
Definitely. Like if, they have the top playlists for the people that get the most posts. Generally, it's not a hip hop because there's pop. There's every genre on there.
Oh, okay.
So some other genres have more acceptance rates. So I mean, they might get 15 acceptances or something like that. But I mean, it's something real light where you can pay like $20 and submit to like 20 outlets real quick. You're not going to take a huge L.
Right.
So I mean, sometimes I've had artists that I broke 250,000 views with that none of them took it on there. Some of them, all of them take it. So it's just another quick outlet where you can get out to people yourself. I mean, it all depends. I mean, I tell artists it's all on levels. You have to get that initial press. I mean, try to impress investors as much as possible. Yeah. Obviously, to really break as an artist, it's going to cost like $100,000.
Yeah, I know. You know what's funny, Snuk? And, I would consider myself quite a good spitter. Snuk, you are a great spitter.
One of the best in the world.
And I always wonder, like, fuck, what are we not doing? And, people will come to me, like, whether that be friends, family, and like, why ain't you signed yet? Like, I just don't understand.
I'm sure a lot of people hear that.
But a lot of people don't understand how much money it takes to break.
I heard French came in with like 200,000.
Really?
Montana, which is how he popped off.
I remember the whole Joyner Lucas
you had a hand in Joyner Lucas. No?
Yeah, and I worked on that from the start.
Yeah, but I remember when he went to give Karen Civil 50 G's.
Oh, I remember there was like an online thing about that, right?
She flaked out or whatever.
I thought it was a little bit less than 50, but yeah, that happens. I mean,
well, that's what I was gonna say. And when I was initially saying about how I have a record right now that I'm in this thing, nothing is guaranteed in this world, is it?
Correct.
So I could give Derek, say, $50, $100 and say, and Derek says, all right, I'm going to take your record and I'm going to blast it out to 100 blogs. There's no guarantee with this shit.
No, that's correct.
It's never a
and
guarantee.
if there is, there's usually some funny money involved.
That's
like
correct.
I just found out with This Is 50, right? Anyone can become an administrator.
Yeah, I'm one
This
of them.
Is 50. And if you become an administrator, right, and all you have to do is sign up, then you can now post your anything to This Is 50.
See, I didn't know that, but
so
I did notice
people are taking money.
everybody's on This Is 50
Correct.
now, so I've been noticing.
Because,
Yep.
because the pages are down in the fucking bowels of thisis50.com.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Now,
Nowhere near the homepage.
The only good part of that, and the reason that I still do it, is because it will show up at the top of Google for relevance. But that's definitely not a way we used to market artists. Like when we're putting people out, we'll put them out on 30+ blog platforms. But like I said, I tell everybody that we need to break you via social media. It's about building you new fans.
Yeah,
Right,
I
right.
agree.
Yeah,
you don't wait for
them
them to come to you. You go to the people most likely to engage with you.
Yeah.
And that's what we emphasize on.
So how do you do that? How do you get the in front of the people on
even
Facebook?
before I worked in music, I've always been a digital marketing specialist. So I used to work. I have a political background. I used to work for the healthcare reform campaign out of college before I even knew what Democrat and Republican was.
Right.
So
Are you a D or an R?
I'm hate politics.
Wow.
After working in it,
Are you for Trump or against Trump?
I don't like what he's doing right now.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not a Democrat or Republican because I like my taxes being low. I'm fiscally conservative and I'm socially progressive.
Right.
I
I
heard a wise man said, if you're 30 and not liberal, you don't have a heart, and if you're 50 and not conservative, you don't have a brain.
Right.
So
got to be a medium there.
No, that's it is
when you
kind
get
of that
older,
way with a lot of people.
When you get older, you start to worry about your money a little more, and I can see that.
Let me ask you this, yo. Is it with the sites and the blogs and all that shit? Is it like the more? Because I know there's different packages and shit. Because you always say on your shit like, yo, hit me up and let me know what you're working with, and we'll work with you based on that price.
Definitely.
And so I'm assuming if they come in with super bread, that you're guaranteeing that they get on the top sites. Is that how the shit works?
It's not even how I do it. It's crazy. So the one thing I emphasize to people is there's no cookie cutter solution that's going to break an artist. Everyone has custom needs and a custom plan.
Right, and we even said nothing is guaranteed. I know that.
For example, the big thing that I try to do is build people new fans. For example, like you guys mentioned Joyner earlier, one unique thing he did, he had a phone number as the title of his record.
Smart.
So anyone that called or texted that, he retained their contact information.
Super smart. Yeah.
I do the same type of thing with some similar artists where we retain emails. So when merchandise goes out, when new releases go out, etc.
Okay.
Now, there's a group from Keene, New Hampshire, Roots of Creation. They're a reggae group.
Shout out Keene. I got family out in Keene,
So
New Hampshire.
here's a great example. They've done they kill the festival circuit across the Northeast every year.
Yep.
They collected a shitload of emails, and they got #1 reggae album on Billboard the week they dropped their album because of their email list.
Wow.
Yeah. Email list is major. That's one thing I slack.
Week 2 they didn't chart, so that pretty much shows you the example from #1 to not top 10. I mean, just off that good initial email list. So that's a good example. I work several other. I mean, obviously we want to build up real fans on Facebook, Instagram, all those methods, and that's a new way artists get paid too.
Through Instagram.
Yeah, like I'll mention, like Zay Hilfiger, who we work. I mean, he's got a major deal with Reebok. I can't get into all the specifics of it, but a major deal with them to just promote shoes for the Journeys line. And
just to post shit on his Instagram.
Yep, 3 posts on Instagram, 1 on YouTube, and a repost on Snapchat and Twitter, I believe. So it's a total of like 6.
Is Snapchat popping? Should I convert to Snapchat?
You ain't on Snapchat?
I don't use it, man.
I am on it, but I don't use it.
I use Snapchat very specifically though. Like my Snapchat is like I don't actually promote it like how I do my IG and my Facebook. Like I keep it like friends and families and shit.
Yeah.
For the most part.
I dig it.
You got to get on Snapchat.
I dig it. So let's talk the New England Hip Hop Awards. There's certainly been controversy with these award shows out here. I would say that the BMAs, the Boston Music Awards, are they're pretty much the main one. I think I would say, you know what I mean? They've been out here for a while. They have some sort of credibility. Although people like Mo Pope and a lot of other artists this year, started to say that, hey, listen, you guys have no one that even knows hip hop. Like
Correct.
all these panelists you got that are giving these awards. Like there's no one on there that is even a certified hip hop head out here.
So then
and
let's
it's
get
becoming
into that.
like a friends giving friends awards type thing.
So I can speak on that. So What happened is there's a real lack of strong media personalities within New England hip hop. There's a lot, but the good thing is there's a lot of emerging people. There's a lot of great new emerging radio shows within the last 2 years. There's new people coming out as writers, but there was a big gap where we didn't have a large number of people that did it. So what happened with the Boston Music Awards, they didn't have the people that signed up to be on the committee. Now, in regards to their particular festival, I actually was added to the committee with several other people this year to vote, and they brought hip hop back. So,
which is good, yeah, because they tried to get, they tried to get rid of it.
So
but
I had the same problem though.
Out there?
I had the same problem as them. So I reached out to probably, I would say maybe 22, 23 different hip hop media for the New England Hip Hop Awards, because I figured the most fair and non-biased way is to have media voting. Like if we do it online, like people like Term, Token, Joyner Lucas, that's not fair to them to make them share a link to get an award that they've already put in the work for.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that came back at me on that. Why aren't you making it fan voting? Because that hurts the people that have done the most.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And the reason I'm doing seminars is to help artists get to that next level and get to those platforms. So we don't make it just about recognizing the top people. We educate the next people on the grind. So yeah, I ran into the same problem. Like only like less than 50% of the people that I inquired to actually voted. The fact that I got it done is I've had so many people reach out to be part of it for next year, but I definitely see where they ran into the issues in regards to strong media. But the good thing is,
was it not out there, or were they not looking?
It might have been a combination of both.
Probably a combination.
It might have been a
of both.
combination of both. But I know I worked on the New England Hip Hop Awards for over a year. It was Joyner Lucas's idea. We were at the Underground Music Awards at BB King's in New York. We won Best Indie Website. He won Best Video for Ross Cappuccioni. He's like, D, I think you should do something like this for New England artists, regionally. Okay. So I spent over a year running around and networking with everyone, putting the bug in people's ears, letting them know we're going to do this, but I don't want to make it about me. I want you guys to be involved. I'm not trying to make it a me thing. Like, it's for the region. It's going to be something where somebody else steps up as a committee chair in the future.
Yeah, but you all, I mean, you know.
That shit is outrageous to me that BMAs didn't have a hip-hop category.
It is.
Like, it's not like there's not a bunch of super major things going on out here in the hip-hop world. That shit is crazy.
So many,
it wasn't always like that, because I know years ago we went years ago. I performed with Term there. He was nominated. We won. So did they just get rid of it?
Yeah, it was
they
like
did
last
for 1 year. They got rid of it,
Yeah.
and I mean, it was really. I think they're telling the truth. It was lack of nomination support. I mean, because I saw it with my own eyes doing my own event.
But
so.
I mean, dude,
it's not like Token wasn't getting it cracking and mad people weren't.
Yeah,
doing
they were.
Stiz,
But the people,
Michael Christmas,
well, the people you guys got to
Rebel.
realize the people that are running the Boston Music Awards aren't following hip hop. So
that's the problem in the first place.
They have to bring
exactly.
in, but when they bring in other experts within that segment, is where it helps and they get the winners better. I mean, you can't. A lot of people come at me to try to push other genres, and I don't, because you have to specialize in one certain thing to know what you're doing.
I agree with that.
I'll push hip hop, I'll push pop, I'll push R&B, but beyond that, when a country artist or a rock artist comes to me, I refer them to someone else.
So you would say that you got your ear to the streets when it comes to this New England hip hop shit?
I mean, I've been doing it since I was a local show promoter. I mean, I put over 1,000 artists on the stage. I mean, this was the first show I ran since 2014, and I work artists across the country now, but I mean, I'm still building to build a platform for out here. I'm taking money I make through music I do throughout the country and really reinvesting it out here in things like the New England Hip Hop Awards, which I did with no sponsors.
So I don't know. I guess if you look at these things, you can always find something to pick at. So I don't want it to come off like that I'm trying to be whatever. This is the only thing that I don't understand, and I'm not talking shit about anybody. It is what it is. Like, let's just talk rap here. So for Album of the Year, the nominations were Chris Webby, Joey B, and Token. So
and I think there's one other one as well. Let me pull it up.
But so I just don't understand. All right, Token, Young Spitta, Young God,
Jasmine Red as well.
Jasmine
for
Red.
her story.
I never even heard of Jasmine Red. But like Joey B, now Snuk dropped an album last year. There is no way that Joey B is on there and Snuk isn't.
I feel in terms of credibility, you're right.
Rex dropped an album,
well,
I think.
Some of it has to do with timing too, because like he dropped it like 2 weeks before the voting.
Who,
so
Rex?
Joey, when Joey did it, so it was fresh in a couple of people's heads.
Okay.
The second part is that all the media that I reached out to didn't vote. But I had like 4 people that didn't vote still come to the award show and say, I got you for next year.
Well, that's good. I mean, it's always progress.
What I'm going to do
perfection.
this year, I'm already working on 2018. I'm going to better publicize the entire list of everybody that's voting. Because they're all media outlets, so the artists can submit to them.
Is that fair, do you think? Is that fair? Now, the Grammys, we don't know who votes for the Grammys, right? That's a secret thing, I don't think. I don't think you know all of the people.
I need to do it fairly because it needs to be transparent.
But is that the fair way to do it? Yeah, I guess, right? It's transparency. So
if I don't have transparency, then people are just going to talk and talk and talk.
Right.
You have to have transparency to add legitimacy.
Well, it's like you said, we could pick a pot no matter what his answer is. We could pick something to pot.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, salute to anyone that's trying to do something good.
For sure. He's trying to do the shit for hip hop, and that's real. But I would still be doing a disservice to like real artists like myself to not come at you that. You know what I'm saying? And Stiz too, and ask you certain questions like that. Because
I didn't drop
I don't want to get clouded in that. I was at the New England Hip Hop Awards, Stiz. I went to support and check it out and see how it was. Our term was nominated. We came as a team, ST. And it
looked like, I seen the videos.
It was popping. It was straight.
Popping, yeah.
On my way out, as I said peace to Derek and shit on the way out, I'm already seeing 2 or 3 like real whack rappers like at him like, yo, but why wasn't I nominated? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So shit like that.
I get that every day.
Shit like that kind of muddies up the field though for a real artist like myself. Who's fucking amazing and better than mostly everybody.
I agree.
To have real gripes with the shit and be like, yo, what's really cracking though? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
that's the truth. That's the truth. And I thought Term was gonna bring you on his set that day too, but
it was an award show set though, so it's small. It was
small, quick stuff. But yeah, it's all about growth. I mean, I'm telling people I want the feedback from them. I mean, there's certain things I won't budge on, like media voting, for example, because I want it to be fair and transparent. And still reward the people that put in the most work. But in regards to new award categories,
and what do you mean, like media voting? Like Dart Adams,
like a Dart Adams or something.
My goal when I started was to make the most fair and transparent process. Year 1, that's impossible. I mean, everyone's saying for the longest, it's impossible to get a system that everyone's going to agree with.
You never know what you're going to get with the first annual anything.
My goal was to get through it with as much positive reaction as possible, and I knew year 2 would be 5 times as strong once I get through the first year. So, I mean, different media that voted, I mean, let's see, DJ Foreign from Jammin', I mean, I'm trying to think, like Tony from Maine's Rap up in Maine, Jim Browse, who's the hip-hop director at University of Rhode Island. Like, I reached out to tons of different people. Trying to think of some other ones.
And you got a bunch of shit right, too. You know what I'm saying? Millie's took the joint of the year with the Lessons joint.
Male artist of the year.
Yeah, more male. I don't see how, that was deserved.
Video of the year, joiner, that's deserved.
That was super deserved, you know what I'm saying?
Like Ross Mack for graphic designer. He's
deserved.
doing Rick Ross.
Shout out Ross Mack, yeah.
So certain
What'd
stuff
you say?
like that.
He did stuff for Rick Ross?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, he's actually is he on the team and shit for them?
He's been doing this.
He
stuff
just
for
did
years,
Wyclef Jean's on Carnival 3. Shout out Ross Mack. Yeah, he does major shit now.
Yeah,
right?
and even like I have a good example, like female artist of the year. Nominees were like Miss Chic, Bia, Jasmine Red, Pretty Poison.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people you really not everyone knows Miss Chic because she's not.
I would say Bia wins that like a motherfucker.
She wasn't marketed all across New England, but she has bars. Like she is.
Who was the one that spit, yo?
Miss Chic.
Yo, she got bars.
So the media that knows, she's dope. And anyways, like actually last week she went down to New York and just won a contest for Shade 45.
Okay.
So right after
you're
the
saying
awards.
it doesn't necessarily have to be the most popping.
There's really I'm not filtering. I mean, I'm just listing the category and letting media kind of say what they think within the category. I'm not trying to Napoleon the whole situation, and I'm taking feedback for future years. So it doesn't necessarily have to be. I mean, the intent of it is the most poppin', obviously. It's not. Right. I tell people very clearly, I don't want you making votes within your crew.
Yeah.
If you're doing anything biased, you're going to be taken off the committee. I tell them that from the jump.
And I'm going to say this shit to your face while you're here, because I've been known to call things like the BMAs, and, yours didn't exist at the time, all these shits. I've been known to call these shits the social media awards. Yep. Meaning, if a cat is super, he's nice with the social media shit, got mad followers, I feel like a lot of the awards go to people like that, whereas it's more about social media than it is about music. Because if the shit was about music, I feel, and I don't want to keep saying me because it comes
that's,
off whack, but I am just fucking that good.
I
That's the
agree.
truth.
I agree 1,000% that I could rap better than a lot of these cats.
Right.
But the
not
thing
just rap
is,
better, make music. So if you call something
That's
a
the
music
truth.
award,
this
I
is
want
a
it to be
cultural
about
thing though
music.
that we're talking, because I mean,
for sure.
even the Grammys are having these problems.
Yeah, no,
and
it's top to bottom. Yeah, for sure.
So really, that's why we're making the New England Hip Hop Awards multifaceted, and we're doing seminars every year to educate artists how to take their music to the next level, to win at those platforms like social media.
Which is serious. He made a whole weekend out of the shit, and he did offer those things, and you could literally go there and hear
example,
from the people that know.
Some of the people I brought in on the seminars are like Wendy Day, who broke the deal with Eminem. She broke Master P's deal. I brought in Rob Schwartz from Philly. He owns a distribution company under Sony. He gave out the keys for artists to be able to get their own music by themselves in TV, movies, and video games. I have Q the Question from Philly, who worked Trap Queen. I have Dove Clark, who I work with. I do a lot of campaigns with her out of New York. She's been a publicist for Jim Jones, and we work Snow the Product right now. DJ Paul from 3-6 Mafia. I mean, I have a pretty good list of people.
Dope, yeah.
Acrobatic came on. Cam, the owner of Cloud9, came on.
Did you charge for this, or?
It's $20 online for the seminars, but the awards, I guess, listed everybody.
Yeah.
So basically, like the $20 for the seminars, we're just putting in next year, because I'm trying to spend $50,000 on it next year.
Really?
Like we're trying to grow every year.
Talk about whatever you can talk about as far as next year, because you see what went right and maybe what didn't or whatever for this year, and what are you trying to do to make it bigger and better next year?
We want to do whatever we can to make the platform bigger, bring out more media, but also include more artists.
Right.
So what I'm looking to do is just take over a city for next year, 4 venues, and make it like a mini A3C South by Southwest.
I love the idea.
Which was the end goal of it. So the way we got to look at it is, I mean, a lot of these artists, it's going to cost you. I mean, you've been out to those before. How much do you think it costs to go out there for a weekend as an artist? A lot of money.
It's like a G at least. At least a G.
You
then you got to try to perform.
Yeah, what all performances, that's just your flights, your hotels, getting around. So I want to be able to just make these local artists be able to come up and do it within New England.
We would go super deep, like way too deep, and just get like one fucking place. You know what I'm saying? And
that's what Rex did.
Yeah, that's what Rex did last year with everybody.
Which was super cool.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's what I've done in the past too. I mean, we just go and get Airbnbs with a bunch of artists and stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of what we're trying to do for the regions, making a mix between seminars, shows, etc. I mean, I was talking to Chilla Jones about doing a battle rap segment this year.
I like that.
People, I spoke with John Glass, like they ran a beat auction before. I was telling him we should do a beat auction, some live producer stuff. I really want to add as many elements of hip hop as we can.
I like it.
As we can. I'm working with the people in the city I'm working in. I can't say where yet because I haven't signed all the deals with all the venues yet. Obviously, we just got done the other one. But, I mean, even if we can add graffiti artists, art people, because I'm trying to block off a whole block where all these clubs are in the same area.
That
so
would be crazy.
so it's all foot traffic. So I want to add all the elements, just basically have
It's also great for networking, too. You know what I'm saying? Get all these hip-hop
And that's
people
what people say about what happened at the New England Hip Hop Awards. Even people that weren't on it, they're saying they networked with at least one person that they didn't know yet.
Yep, for sure.
So, and that's what we really need to add. I mean, I go out to South by Southwest, A3C, and all these, spend a ton of money to just make 2 or 3 new plugs.
Now, I like what you're doing. Like the fact that you're actually doing it and somebody's doing it is major. You know what I'm saying? Just to even get it off the ground and do it is major. I do want shit to be more about fucking music though.
Yeah.
And you know, something dope about award shows, even when you watch them at home, like the major ones, like what I always liked about award shows is when I didn't know somebody and an award show like broke them and put me onto them and shit, and maybe they wasn't as popping or whatever. Like I can name a bunch of artists that like whatever, Alicia Cara, I found her on like some small whatever late night show or award show.
Who's she?
This singer bitch, like, I like her a lot, but just in general, like even for hip hop, like, you know, you don't always want to have the most popping shit. You want to get artists that are real dope that maybe a lot of people don't know, and you can be like, yo, one of their first shits ever was on the fucking my awards. You know what I'm saying? Like that's dope.
So I do want to get into the BET Awards real quick and talk the whole Eminem fiasco, but end it, you know, as far as like, you know, your aspect of it and what you're doing, end it on, you know, what's your advice for an artist coming up that's trying to, you know, take it to the next level?
My best advice is don't sleep on the business. Educate yourself as much as possible and understand that the whole process is levels. It's not going to happen overnight. You need to be able to build sales records to be able to show prospective investors. So just because you can't buy 100 T-shirts right away, sell 10. If you don't have the money for that, make an account with Shopify. Just make sure you're monetizing everything. Make sure that you have your ASCAP, BMI, and
which is free to sign up for. You can go to ASCAP, go to BMI, sign up.
Oh, no, you got to actually pay something.
And the final thing I'll say.
I think one of them you do.
Yeah.
I signed up.
Yeah, BMI is free. ASCAP's $50.
Yeah.
But
I paid something with BMI. It was like
really?
$150
You might have got some like super official shit.
That I put me on. Shout out.
You can get a free. You can get a free account.
And the last thing I would say is make sure you have your distribution in order. I tell a lot of people platforms like TuneCore. But I have a situation at least once a week where an artist from different regions will contact me and they're stuck in bad didistribution things. So
I use TuneCore.
So never sign a distribution agreement unless they're giving you an advance.
Really?
What's the point of it? I had a contract yesterday I had to go through, and the label was taking 50% across the board for everything publishing wise, and 25% of all the artists' songwriting.
Jeez,
but they didn't give them an advance.
Yeah.
And it happens all the time. There's labels that will say, "Oh, we're so and so," but they won't put the backing in right away.
Yeah.
So even these smaller distributors, like for example, what's the people I met with out in LA? They distribute Tech 9 and E40. Trying to think. I forget the name. I forget the name of the company right now. But they distribute Tech, E40, all them. And I mean, even them, they'll give people advances off of certain stuff. And the other way for artists to make money, if you generate at least $5,000 within a 6-month period on ASCAP or BMI, they'll advance you earnings you're expected for the next 12 months as well.
Really?
So a lot of artists will utilize that to be able to reinvest in their next project.
And how can you generate that much money on ASCAP or BMI? Through selling stuff on iTunes?
Just be consistent. I mean,
it's sales.
Yeah.
Or spins.
I mean,
but you're getting one on a
hey,
stream.
if you can get 1,000 people to buy a $10 album, I mean, you're probably netting like 7-8K. You're just gonna stay consistent.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not easy.
And that's what That's what I want to say too.
And that's why I tell people
1,000 records doesn't sound a lot. Go try to sell 100 records. It's tough.
No, I've done it.
yeah, of course.
I tell people it's all levels, so don't get discouraged. I mean, your goal needs to be just to be better than you were last month.
Yeah.
And if you're consistent, people will believe in that. They don't want to see someone that's stagnant.
I fuck with it, D. Snuk, you brought a good guest. Snuk, I seen you talking about it, D. We want to know what you think. How in the fuck are people hating on Eminem?
Weirdest shit in the world.
Can you please tell me?
My timeline is fucked right now. I don't know.
I just don't understand.
I see people Stiz on my timeline who literally I know don't even listen to hip hop, saying shit like, "This was Slim Shady's worst freestyle." I wrote one down because I want to remember it. Somebody who I know for a fact don't even listen to hip hop, and I wrote "very poor flow" was a quote I seen on Facebook. Like, yo, I'm bugging. Like,
what world of my mans who is I would consider him a pretty good hip hop. He's an older dude though, so he's not like really up on like all the newer stuff. But he was like, yeah, I don't know, his flow just wasn't like.
Is it because of the cadence? How he came at it like it was a battle rap?
And that's what I told him. I'm like, yo, you don't understand. Battle rap now is like a performance art. You know what I mean? It's almost like a spoken word piece. The way you inflect certain words and take breaks.
The schemes were still there. Everything was still there. I don't get it. How'd you feel about that shit, Derek?
It was crazy. I mean, I think all the people talking about it just came from the fact that the people that like him were calling him the GOAT. So anytime you call someone the GOAT, it's gonna cause controversy.
I think he's the GOAT.
I think he is too. But I mean, back in the day, Eminem was the GOAT.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a period where he didn't have that pain in him.
Yeah.
After he came up, he didn't have that pain in him anymore.
If you're a GOAT of something, you're still that. Like, you can do that shit right now or in 10 years, and you're still gonna be that nice.
He changed. I mean,
he's still that nice.
There's nobody since the start of hip hop that's changed the game as much as Eminem.
And you know what I love about him, man? It's never been about jewelry, cars. It's always just been about the rhymes with him.
Spit, yeah.
And 20 years later now, and it's still always about the rhymes. He signed he signs 50. Now he's signing dudes like Conway. Like, just keeping it super real.
Ear to the streets,
just like
sure.
super, super, super real, yo. And it's just crazy how you talk about, like, Elvis-like figures. I mean, dude, within 20 minutes of that freestyle, it was everywhere.
Right.
everywhere.
This is almost a week later.
CNN, MSNBC, fucking Fox News.
Well,
like,
this is like a week
you
later,
name it,
and
it was on there.
If you put his name even in your status right now, you're getting like 100 comments.
Yeah.
Because of the back and forth from retards that make shit political and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this shit is ridiculous.
And M's been doing this for a little while. He did Mosh. He did White America.
Shout out Lisa Finelli. She said she's literally deleted everyone who spoke bad about him.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. Seen that, Lisa. Yeah, that was good
right
shit. Yeah. Yeah, I just
People
don't
write crazy
understand.
shit,
Like,
well, the other part, he made it super political himself, where he
of
he
course.
drew the line in the
Yeah.
sand. He said, "You're either with me or you're with him."
Yeah.
So anytime you cause controversy and cause a divide, you're gonna get a lot more interaction.
And the divide is real, though.
The
And I
divide
think
is
that
very
goes to
real.
show you how much, like, some people are fucking with Trump. Because I'm very political. I am. I fucking cannot stand Donald Trump, like on a crazy level. And I think I have probably lost a couple fans because I've posted some shit.
Right.
And people, they're like, "You're fucking crazy. Obama was the devil. Thank God Trump's here." And blah 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 blah.
See,
blah.
I don't post shit that's political. Because for that very reason,
They say,
if you're a retard and you want to buy my CD, you can still be a retard and you can still buy my CD.
Yeah.
But if somebody asks me, I'll be like, nah, your boy's a fucking retard. I'll destroy him in an IQ test. Let's go.
Yeah, when it comes to politics to religion, you either gotta stay out of them or go all in. If
Right,
you feel
right.
passionate about it, you can go all in. But if you're in the middle, it's just gonna mess you all up.
So then what about the rest of the awards? As far
that's
as,
why I didn't watch the whole thing.
Eminem
so
stole the show as far as because of all the
did.
publicity and shit. But the show in general, I always look forward to the ciphers for the hip hop awards. That's the
And
one
I
thing
heard
they
my
do
son
different.
ripped it.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
Really?
same
I heard
thing.
my son said something similar.
He's getting the
about
best.
Kaepernick.
He's getting the best reviews right now from all the media.
So
Yeah,
overall, I thought ciphers was whack in general.
Really?
Yeah.
Couple real dope verses though, like the one you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Couple more. The kid actually won the 16. You spit a 16. They put one winner every year on the main stage. He did good. I forget the kid's name. There was a couple real dope verses. Probably my son being the best one, right?
Yeah,
Didn't Joyner
in
win
general,
that
they
last
won.
year? That My 16 thing or
No,
something?
Millie's was on it last year. Joyner was on it the year before.
Yes. Okay.
Yep. Token was on the year before. I submitted one year one of those things, and I don't even do challenges.
Then you did
so
the
I,
fuck the
then I
BET.
start saying fuck your challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, you know how it is. I mean, it takes a lot of work to get into that room where someone that works at BET is, and you're able to be like, yo,
for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the way with Joyner, the way it worked, he won one of the contests just to do the online cipher.
Yes.
The year he was on there, and he killed it so much in the online cipher,
They were
we're bringing
like-
you on live.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
And even Millie's, I don't think he was even supposed to be on it, but being in the right place in the right time, he had worked
he
his.
said that on his Instagram.
Right.
yeah.
That's what it
I
was.
mean, it's just
Which
getting
is
out there and
super cool.
networking. I got a story about Millie. So, I mean, we were out at A3C like 2 years ago.
Yep.
And, I mean, I didn't even know what I was doing. I paid the $2,000 to get my own showcase, so they gave us the partner passes. DJ Padrino was running around backstage he's like, these are rent-a-car securities. Just tell them you're supposed to be back here. They're not going to try to tell the wrong person that they can't be
They
back
don't know
there.
what the fuck's going on.
So we were back there with like Dej Loaf, Alchemist, all them. So freaking, I told Millie, I was like, yo, I'll get you back with me and shit like that. That's the first time we actually got up down there. But that's just, I mean, he's out there networking. You know what I mean? I saw him.
bro.
I went to go see Chris Rivers, Pun's son, and I left, and Millie's was going to pop by there at the same time. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He does his footwork.
Shout out Millie's, man. He's everywhere. You ain't never there. He dropped some bars with Tigger this week too.
Yes, he did, Yes, he did.
He's
And that's the thing, bro. I always say about luck. People can be like, "Oh, you're lucky. That's luck. That's luck." But luck, I think, is like where hard work meets luck. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just lucky. Like, if you ain't doing shit, you ain't gonna get lucky. Believe me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're out there grinding your ass off, then you might. You know what I mean?
It's
You
clearly
might get
not
lucky
just talent, obviously.
two,
And that goes
a
back to
couple
the
times.
ciphers. There was a lot of dudes in them. Like, I look forward to the ciphers to see who's gonna be killing shit.
Who won?
I didn't
the
hear that,
awards?
man.
Like, who won the awards?
Oh
like
man,
video of the year.
Cardi B cleaned up, right?
She did, right?
Cardi B cleaned up. She deserves. She got Hustler of the Year. You got to give that one. I like that concept. Hustler.
Yeah,
of the Year.
Hustler of the Year.
Yeah,
That's great.
She hustled her way to the top. She deserved that shit too.
I saw her down at South by Southwest last year too. I slept on her. Like, I was walking with one of my boys. They're like, "Oh, that's Cardi B." She's just chilling by one of the stage. I went out to check out Kyle Bent at one of the stages while I was out there, and she was just chilling kind of near that same stage area. And I was like, oh, she's just some Instagram girl.
Yeah,
I
that's what I
don't need
used
to
to
go get an
think.
interview. And
But
she's, now on the way here, I'm bumping her song.
Yeah. That goes to show you how quick it could happen, bro.
Yeah.
Like it could happen in a fucking instant, bro. And in 1 year, your whole life could be different.
I got a story like that for Joyner Lucas too, but I'll save it for if we get him over here.
When we get him, best
for
male
sure.
R&B pop artist Bruno Mars took it.
See, the most popular
deserves
artists,
that.
they weren't
Yeah.
even there. Nobody
But he went up
collected their
against
award.
Chris Brown, The Weeknd, Trey Songz, and Usher. I would say The Weeknd had
Right
a
now,
pretty good
just
year.
through traveling a lot, like, I kind of judge it like I ride in Ubers a lot when I travel.
Yeah.
Like,
What's the Uber jump? What's the Uber bumping?
2/3 of the people in LA, they all playing Bruno Mars.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
For sure.
So I didn't even realize he was that poppin', like, until I was out there in the summer and everyone was playing.
All right,
stuff.
I'm gonna give you guys the nominees. I want you to see if you can tell me who won. Best male hip hop artist: Big Sean, Chance the Rapper, Drake, Future, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar.
I don't remember. I was twisted waiting for ciphers.
Guess. I want to know who
it's
you
gotta
would
be
think.
between Kendrick or Chance. Chance has a cult following, so he can steal
I
awards.
think
though.
Kendrick actually won.
Kendrick,
for
I
Damn.
would
Kendrick
vote
did.
Kendrick. I think
Yeah,
Kendrick. Yeah.
Kendrick did. What do you think about the whole Chance the Rapper thing that's really starting to bubble up now, where people saying he's like, there's a word for it, I forget what it is, but like he says he's independent, but a
Right.
lot of people are
I
saying
got
he
the
has
whole
major
background on that.
label
So
backing,
what
and they're
happened?
just secretly
Yeah, what's
pushing
the
that
deal with
whole
that shit?
agenda.
What happened is he got a lot. I heard that he had got a lot of money from Apple.
Yes.
So when he did that, so that's how it works sometimes. It's smart. The game's all about sponsorship, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna mention on the last segment when you're bringing people on your team, it's not about getting that person that's content with getting that one yes. It's about getting that person that's gonna get those 9 no's and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you might get 49 no's and then you might lock something major. You're just
Yeah.
gonna stay consistent, and having people like that on your team, it gets you bags.
That's
Gets
true.
you bags. That
He
and
said it
check
gets
record.
you bags. Okay, Derek. Okay.
Yo, who you got beef with? Do you got beef with anybody?
Right now, I mean.
Oh, I would imagine you must have some.
and I mean, aside from like hundreds of like corny rappers that probably can't afford shit or whatever, just hate or like,
Corey Guns, Bobby Shmurda, and that's the only two mainstream.
He said
Bobby
Bobby
Shmurda.
Shmurda.
Now, he
Why-
owed me
what
I actually French Montana's brother Zach too. He's a shitbag.
Really?
French is. Say it again. Say it again.
everyone,
Bring it back. French Montana's what?
French Montana's brother Zach is a shitbag too.
Really?
Okay.
That's
But
all
what
the people
happened with
that
Bobby
that's
Shmurda?
all money situations. Bobby actually, he might not even know the whole situation. We booked him for a show. Everything was straight by the contract. And what happened is he wasn't happy with some label situation, whatever, where he had to pay back his advances. So what happened is he got advanced so much money that he wasn't getting the front end money for the people that were booking through his team.
Right.
So he basically was only he went on Instagram after I had booked him for a show after I had spent over $10,000 booking an arena.
Damn. Where? Out here?
Yikes.
Yeah, we were doing it in Lowell back in the day, and like 2014. Then he went online saying he ain't even coming. We had other people there. Papoose, Remy Ma showed up, Chris Webby, but Term actually came and showed love, even though he wasn't on the bill. But it ended up.
ST.
It was terrible because, I mean, and we still, at the end of the day, his team was telling us up until the day of the show, oh, no, he changed his word. He's coming.
Really?
He ended up taking cash the day of the show. So
I knew I get an answer out of that.
he's just a young kid that, I mean, it is what it is.
Do you take that to court or you just swallow it and move on?
Pause.
He's in jail right now. So.
I knew that was a dope question because like you can't do what he does and not along the way catch like beef in some sort of way or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I want to know
yeah.
every fucking thing though. Why is French Montana's brother a dirtbag?
That came through a show situation as well. And shout out Shanks for actually fixing part of the situation.
Okay.
So we put a deposit down for $10,000. We were doing it outside of the team. I learned my lesson: never do it outside of the team.
Yeah.
I tried to get a deal. We had some deal to get French for 20 a couple years ago, and we put that down. And then the team said they couldn't do it. French sent 5 back on his own. Even though Zach's brother saying that he was finagling, like he had me Western Union to someone else after he signed the contract and. Blah, blah, blah. French sent back 5 right away, even though it wasn't his stuff, just to show that he's trying to work on the show. So French stepped in, you know what I mean? He didn't even have to, he never even got that bread, and he sent us 5 back. And I had the opportunity to work on part of Chinks' tour while French's brother was pulling bullshit. And Chinks actually, I told Chinks straight up, I was like, listen, I want to work with you, but somebody that's on your team owes me bread right now. So I look like a fool,
Right.
and Chinks called him up. It's like, you costing me money if you don't get right with this dude. Do the right thing. He sent me $1,500. He still owes me $35, but then it is what it is at the end of the day. I mean, I wrote that off a while ago, you know what I mean? But it's just, it teaches you, don't try to do, and this is a good lesson for people coming up, don't try to get the best deal.
Yeah.
Do the right business.
Right. Yeah.
I don't like French Montana, yo.
No?
Not in general. I don't like. I seen him on when he was on Drink Champs, and I just thought he came off like a super herb.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that episode.
I thought he's a herb.
Well, he
yo.
started as a cameraman, right?
He started as a herb, probably. I think deep down he still is a herb. Yo.
So let me tell you who are the best people on the road. 'Cause I've done a lot of tours. Bazaar of D12 is real good.
Yeah.
Pat-
that dude,
Pat
like, I
Poose.
always see that dude at the weirdest places, Bizarre, but he needs to get money, so I'm sure he's just like, yo, $750 for a verse, let's go.
Right,
I'll come to fucking
I'll come
New
to you.
Bedford. Yeah.
Yeah, Papoose is definitely one of the realest people. I mean, he keeps everything 100, real good with his business. And one of my favorite people, Chris Rivers, Punt's son.
Yeah.
We
he's
took
the man,
him
yeah.
on his first tour. He's just asking so many questions, trying to learn the world. I mean, he was in a bad situation right before we started. It wasn't us that broke him, but it was right before he started breaking and getting buzz and getting paid shows, etc. It's just, I mean, life's tough, and he was just very appreciative of the whole process.
Yeah, he seems like a good dude.
So
He definitely seems like a good
yeah.
dude. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So BET Awards. Wait, real quick. Best New Artist, Chance the Rapper. Album of the Year, Beyonce, Lemonade.
Oh, this
So-
is telling you who won.
I actually
Yeah,
did the
it is what
website.
it
None of the
is.
major artists were there too, by the way.
What do you mean?
None of them were there.
What do you mean? Like
The
Beyonce,
it's the
Jay,
BET Hip Hop
Actually-
Awards. Nobody gave a fuck about it except
Yeah.
like Cardi B. She was there wilding out.
Khaled.
Shout out Pacific
Khaled.
Studios, who I work with out in North Hollywood. That's where Beyonce's Lemonade was mixed. If you look on their
Really?
website, my name
Dope.
right on it as the web designer.
Major.
Really? Where? What studio?
Pacific Studios in Los Angeles.
Oh.
Yeah, I just went out there. I mean, I did some minor stuff. I went out there. They had an old website. I was bringing a client I'm consulting on out there. They had already worked the Lemonade album there. It's one of the best mastering studios in the country.
Yeah.
It's probably top 5.
Super major.
And they had just a crappy website, new management. So I brought in a video director just to do a virtual tour. The
Must be
equipment speaks
nice.
for itself, and we ended up doing a re-release party, bringing a lot of dope people out there. I mean, throughout the industry in North Hollywood, and it went really good. But yeah, shout out. You mentioned the album, so I had to shout out
Yeah,
people I
yeah.
work with that were
For
part
sure.
of it.
Shout out Beyonce, who can just be like out of the blue, like, boom,
Bang.
here's an album.
Yep.
No marketing. No, I mean that is like the marketing. No, it's just how big it is.
Yo, Stiz, you care if I get into something?
Yeah, no, do
Yo,
it.
this I don't know if you guys heard this Boy Scout shit.
Oh yeah, so the Boy
Oh
Scouts.
man,
They're now
they're
allowing
saying
girls
girls
to join.
can come in.
So
Man.
politics aside, because like we said earlier,
Definitely.
I'm not a Democrat, Republican,
Yeah,
but they already have a Girl Scouts.
yeah.
So it's not like
Yeah,
it
what
doesn't.
is the
It's not like
reason?
it doesn't exist. And if anything, Girl Scouts is more popping in the first place.
With
Like
the
I don't
cookies.
know shit about Boy Scouts, but I know about like some peanut butter cookies and some mint chocolate and
Yeah.
shit. Like I don't understand what is the point of this shit.
yeah, it's
I
crazy.
don't either.
The weirdest shit in the world.
It's crazy. I used to be in Cub Scouts. I had to like leave Boy Scouts after a couple months when I did football in high school. But it's weird because everyone's going for the equality thing, but they're missing the essence of what Boy Scouts is. It's teaching these young kids life skills.
Yeah.
So when you bring a girl into the mix, then you got a guy's hormones all mixed up. Like these young girls, when they're going camping and stuff like that, they're not paying attention. They're
But
not
why
doing what
doesn't
they're
the
supposed
girl
to.
go to the Girl Scouts?
They should.
I don't get
They
what
should.
the fuck it is.
That's
Like,
what
I don't get it.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like
I don't get this.
it's-
either.
I'm super like open-minded. I'm with all that shit. I'm whatever. If I was a thing, I guess they would consider me a liberal or something. But I'm, you know, what I'm saying I just don't get it. This one I don't get. It's not like
Yeah. No,
like the
I
shit
don't
doesn't
either.
exist. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
like if a girl wanted to play in the NBA, they'd be like, nah. Well, there's the WNBA. Go play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
it's weird though.
You gotta draw the line somewhere.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I'm
It's
all
like,
for equal everything,
you-
but
you
at some
gotta-
point, what are
you
we talking
definitely
about?
gotta- Yeah, I don't understand this, and I think it's this type of shit where like people go too far, where
Yeah.
it causes someone like Trump to sneak in there. No, I
Right,
mean
right.
that because
He's gonna get his
these
Trump jabs in.
these social justice warriors, right? Everything, everything is an issue now. We don't want Columbus Day, we want girls to be able to join Boy Scouts, all this shit, and
Right.
it's almost like real people are like, yo, calm down.
for
It's
sure.
almost like too much, and so you have someone like Trump who is the complete antithesis of that, and he's like no gays in the military, no this,
right.
no, you know what I mean? And people eat that shit up because they're like, yeah, we're sick of this, we're sick of that.
And then people
shit.
like you or me get thrown in the mix by like the crazy like right people in that shit. Like, nah, we don't want girls in the Boy Scouts. It's the weirdest shit I ever heard. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. I mean, what do you think about transgender in the military? Like, should they be allowed to serve?
I don't think about transgender in the military.
Okay, but a decision has to be made.
You know
a decision has to be made. Is it yes or no?
Of course, yes.
Yes.
Can
Transgender people should be allowed.
a person be in the military and do some shit that I would never do? Yeah, you can.
I agree with that. It's so funny how you say that because that's really what it is. Because I'm sorry, I'm not going.
All set,
I'm not
kid.
going.
Yeah.
So thank you.
That's the best answer. I don't, because there's a lot of people, over half the people that listen to this probably won't understand that.
Right.
Like when people talk about like race relations, stuff like that, I don't think about that. I just see people.
Right.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know you the same way.
For sure,
but
yeah.
There's a lot of people that think. Everyone looks at things a different way. So one of the things that's helped me the most in business, I always try to envision what the other person's viewpoint is.
Oh, dude, that's like a fucking life lesson, bro. If only everybody could
Dropping
do that.
gems
That's
on
what
them.
people need to hear. If you have to, when you're trying to lock things in, you look at the other person's perspective.
I also heard a very good quote the other day because I have some friction going on with some creative stuff right now. And
Stiz always got some friction going on.
Yo, well, I will say
behind the
something.
scenes and shit.
Isn't this creative space that we're in, what we do, can it be tough because you're dealing with stuff that there's not necessarily a right answer. Is my new song or video good?
Right.
You know, you could say yes or no, but it's not 2 + 2 = 4. It could be someone's taste. It could be something, you know what I mean?
Exactly. So
you're dealing with people's feelings like a motherfucker.
I forget where I heard it. I don't know if it was on my seminar or one of the other ones I watched recently, but it was, or actually, shout out to Rob. There was no, it wasn't that. It was on one of the music shows I watch online. But anyways, they were talking about that, how to get music feedback from new people, and it's not to ask them if they like your song. Don't ask them. That's a corny question.
Yeah.
Ask them for feedback straight up.
Yeah.
What do you think of this? Here's your feedback.
Yeah.
Then
Either way, what's the feedback?
Then it won't feel forced. They'll feel like your opinion is open to constructive criticism.
Yeah, I agree.
If you say, "Do you think my song is good?" It sounds like you want to hear it's good.
Yeah, of
and
course.
And if someone doesn't like something, they're gonna feel like they're insulting you.
Of course.
So, whenever you're asking for feedback, never ask a pointed question, and just ask something that's open ended, and you're gonna get the best feedback.
Smart.
Yeah. The quote that I heard though was, "You'd be amazed at what a man could accomplish if he didn't care who the credit went to."
Say it again, Stiz. I'm slow. Say it again. Nice and slow.
You'd be amazed at what a man could accomplish if he didn't care who the credit went to.
Right. I like
you know
that.
what I mean?
I like
That's
that.
the truth.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I like that. We want to end it on that, Stiz?
No, actually, we do have to wrap it up in a couple minutes. Real quick, Derek, I will give you, if you can guess, we're gonna play a real quick round of Name That Sound. If you can guess this sound, I will give you $20.
I know that one.
I know the song. I don't know who that was by.
That is your boy, Superstar Snuk.
That's Poison.
Driving down the highway, he sent me a video of that, just singing, and I thought it was freaking hilarious.
I get in the whip the other day.
Superstar Snuk singing.
I put on AAF because
Poison.
I know it's in between 2 and 7 when Stiz is on the show. And I just happened to turn it on, and they were playing Poison. It's one of the few rock joints I actually know, so I took a video of myself singing it just to show Stiz that I'm tuned in. You know what I'm saying? Ain't looking for nothing
but a good time.
Don't get better than that shit. Is it gonna be
a little technical difficulties right there, but we're back.
It wouldn't be
Damn,
Stuck
I
on
don't know
Stuff
what
podcast without a little technical
Jesus
difficulty.
Christ, you ain't kidding, bro.
We were just talking about the Eminem segment when we were led into it.
Yeah, the
okay.
the bodied movie.
The bodied movie.
I want to see it. We'll have to
I'm
talk
telling you,
about
I think that
Get
shit-
Chiller on here.
Yeah, I will get Chilla Jones on here the week that's gonna drop.
But that's what's up, man. New England Hip Hop Awards. Yo, congratulations.
GetMoneyMusic.com.
You know what I mean? I'm glad you did something good for the city. I'll definitely be at next year's event. Hopefully, I'll be a part of it if I put out some fucking product.
Definitely. I mean,
Put out
that's
that
why we're
product.
trying to do the 4 venues so we can put on different things at different times. Like, I mean, have a rap stage, have an R&B stage, have seminars, so people can check out what's hot that they want to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So the people are there for the full day. So there's always something they like going on. So
And then not just your socials, obviously drop those, but like tell people, like artists in particular, that want to get in touch with you so you could do your thing with, you know what I'm saying, with their product and shit. Like, how do people get at you?
definitely, my email is derek@getmoneymusic.com. If you can't spell my name, just go on getmoneymusic.com, click on the staff page, so it's there. And NewEnglandHipHopAwards.com, my contact info's on there as well if you want to talk about anything through there. So yeah, I have people that manage some of my other social medias. So if you're friends with me on Facebook, you're lucky. If not, I'm at 5,000 and you gotta email me. So.
Word.
We are StuckOnStuffPodcast@gmail.com. Let us know who you want to get up here. Any questions you want us to ask.
Yeah,
all of
actually,
that shit.
one person hit us up on Facebook saying like it'd be cool for like fans to ask us questions.
You got to be like, no,
If
actually
they
like
got-
53 people hit us.
Yeah,
Don't say one on air.
But yo, feel free to send us questions to whatever, bro, and we'll answer them on the next
And
show.
follow us on IG, Stuck on Stuff Podcast.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Twitter,
saying, all that
Stuck on
shit.
Stuff.
I gotta ask you guys one question to wrap it up.
Do it.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the biggest slept-on hip-hop stories of the week that everyone
Do it.
missed out on. Suge Knight said in the news, I don't know if it was like a week ago, you guys know how he has that court case for driving that dude over?
Yeah.
He was saying he was in fear of his life because the guy that, he basically said that Dre paid $20,000 to put out a hit on him,
Oh, that's
and that he had
bullshit.
proof of it.
Oh, I
He was
think I
trying to
heard
show
that.
it in court.
Really?
Came
I
on the
heard that.
news saying that Dr. Dre tried to put a hit on him for $20K. The judge denied him bringing the evidence in. It's crazy thing to even say.
That shit
Yeah.
is crazy. He's out of his fucking mind, right?
Yeah, he said a few months ago they asked him about Tupac and he was like, yeah, maybe he's alive.
Maybe he's alive. What a dirtbag.
Like just be like, he's just doing anything.
He was trying to say that Dre was responsible for Pac.
That's
That's
fucking
crazy.
crazy. Yeah,
That's-
yeah. Suge's at the point
But
now
all the
where he
websites got it
will-
at the top right now. So
Really?
It's new. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like Suge's just trying to do anything to stay in the
Right.
in the conversation. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he's a
'Cause
rap.
He's a rap, yo. He's a rap.
If you want to advertise your product or service,
Yes.
contact the show at Stuck on